All right, welcome to another set of weekly vocabulary. This time we're going to be going over types of evidence. Remember, in these vocabulary lessons, we are just going over the very bare basics on these. So, the pronunciations of words, and usually a really short definition to go with each. When we're thinking of evidence, getting started with our first term, we're thinking of information used to help you explain something or to prove a statement, to prove that you're true. You may use evidence in something like an argumentative essay to prove your point, or in a research essay to support whatever conclusions you come to. Evidence, think of it as your backup. And as our next term to go along with it, to support a claim you make, you back it up with more info. Think of support as sort of like a synonym for evidence. These are the things that you're going to use again to back up your claims or your research. The more reliable and developed your support is, the more persuasive your argument or information is going to be. So if you have data, facts, statistics, personal experiences to back you up, you're going to be in a much better position. Our next term is going to be quotations. A quotation is a sentence or phrase taken from a book, poem, speech, or play, which is repeated by someone else. You don't want to be guilty of plagiarism. So anytime you use information that someone else came up with, you want to use it in a quotation. You can see some examples on the left-hand column here. You can usually tell that it's going to be a quotation because it's got those quotation marks opening up at the beginning and the end of the statement. You can also see in these examples that they've cited their works with information from the author, like when they wrote their work, their last name, and the page they took it from. Next term we're going to come to is observations. Observations are evidence based on what is seen, heard, or experienced. Now, observations are something you do literally every moment of every day as you observe your life around you. This is kind of a general term that we want to look at as far as evidence goes. Your observations, the things you see, can be used as evidence or material to help support whatever your claim or your argument is. Our next term is going to be statistics. Statistics are facts with numbers. For the math people, these are going to be some of your favorite types of evidence to use. Something like 48% of households have a small dog would be a statistic. Now, you want to check and make sure that those statistics are true before you use them. You never want to just come up with statistics. But if you can find research and evidence with statistics, that's some of the best evidence you can find to back up what you're trying to prove. The next term is one that may be new to you. The term is propaganda. Propaganda is information used to promote a certain cause. Now, sometimes these can be good causes. Sometimes they can be causes that aren't necessarily good. This information is frequently misleading or exaggerated to try to get somebody to come to their side. That cause is often political. If you see, probably the most common forms of propaganda you're going to see day to day will be something politically motivated. This can be both negative and positive propaganda. They may say that one candidate is amazing and that they'll make the world a fantastic place. And that might be true, but they may also be exaggerating a little bit. Or they may say that one candidate is the worst person on the face of the earth. And again, they may be exaggerating that a little bit too. Propaganda can take the form of art, speeches, written words, and a whole lot more. This is a broad category that you're going to study probably a lot, especially when you're getting into research and trying to find information that is true and not just propaganda. Some examples of propaganda, you've probably seen this poster from the U.S. military. It says, "I want you for the U.S. Army." Now that would be asking and trying to get people recruited into the military, and so they have that little poster that they'll post everywhere, like we said, art. We have this example from a Starbucks ad that says, "The best coffee for the best you, a taste of inspiration." Kind of a non-statement there, but it's trying to make you think that this coffee is going to somehow help you be more you. Let's next look at fact versus opinion. What part of the document to the left is fact and what part is opinion? Scan that really quickly and we'll go over it. Now to look at it, fact is information that can be proven to be true. These statements here on the left now, this is the part of the document that would be fact. The Eiffel Tower weighs 4,000 tons. Well, they've got all the pieces, they've done the measurements, statistics, etc. to know that it weighs that much. They can measure how high it is. Those are facts. Now, if we keep going, opinion our beliefs about a particular thing or subject. These do not necessarily have to be based on facts. So if you say, I want to visit Paris because, in my opinion, Paris is the prettiest and most exciting city in the world, well, there's a lot of people that are probably going to argue with you. You may think that Paris is the most beautiful city in the world. There's a lot of people that are going to think that their city is the most beautiful place. It's just an opinion. Next up, and something that comes in a lot in forming our own opinions, would be the term bias. Bias is a tendency to prefer one thing over another. It can be based on personal beliefs or experiences and can lead to unfair decisions or judgments. A lot of the times when you're trying to do research or you're trying to write some type of essay, like an argumentative essay, you want to make sure to check and say, am I being biased in my discussion? And that's the end of our vocabulary for this week. Thanks for watching.